is the What Are We Doing
Ladies
podcast.
and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 143. I believe I'm on the nose this week. And happy Pride Month, everybody. While you're listening to this, I'm sure it's probably Pride Month by now. June, here we are. Listen, I'm slacking on the decor. We're going to get our Pride Month decor in studio. We got to get our merch. And, you know, I was like I do every year, like I have been for years past on this podcast, gonna go to Target. I was gonna go to Target to get, you know, a new shirt, maybe a new tank top. I've been wearing some of the same Pride merch now for the last few years. But apparently, Target is done with the backlash. They said, hey, you guys all had a problem with our shit last year, and this year we're not going to mess with it. Just come be regular at Target and nothing. We'll have a little bit, but not a lot. And so they're scaling back on Pride merch this year, which I'm flabbergasted by. I'm a little upset. We love shopping the Pride section here at the What Are We Doing studios. And it's one of those things where mainstream and the way that the internet takes certain things goes, and now it's affecting years to come. I'm sure next year, once all of the heat dies down from not having it this year, Target will be back with a Pride section, I guarantee you, stronger than ever in 2025. Mark my words. We'll be back next year. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. And so I guess it's a little upsetting. You know, they still have the online thing. You can still get it all online. But like, you know, if you remember last year, Target got popped for the whole label. They had a label that their swimsuits, their one-piece leotard swimsuits that ranged in sizes starting from obviously extra small, children, toddlers, up to teenagers and adults, and the labels that these swimsuits were tuck-proof to our friends in the community. You know what I mean? So it was great for them, great for the parents, but everyone else seemed to initially, not us, have an issue with it at Target. So it became a back shelf item pretty quickly, and now it's not on the shelves at all. Target will limit the availability of its 2024 Pride Month collection after last year's controversial blowback over its LGBTQ+ themed merchandise. The retailer said in a Thursday fact sheet that it plans to offer a collection of products including adult clothing and home and food beverage items to celebrate Pride Month this June. It will be available online and in select stores based on historical sales performance, Target said. So basically, the stores that gave them problems last year won't be getting the Pride drop this year, aka. Target has carried Pride-themed merchandise in its stores for years, but last year it announced plans to pull back some items after the company was swept up in a culture war that saw some controversial commenters accusing the company of profiteering on a political issue and selling inappropriate products for children, aka the swimsuits we just mentioned. Workers face threats from angry customers. That's right. Last year, the workers were getting threatened. The teenagers that worked at Target for $15 an hour were getting their lives threatened. God, I love this country. While others boycotted the company, of course, we're back now. We're all back shopping at Target now. We forgot about it, and you're going to continue to forget, and you're going to keep shopping there. Stores in the last at least 5 states had to be evacuated after they received bomb threats. Welcome to America. America First Legal, a conservative activist group led by former Donald Trump aide Stephen Miller, argued that the company failed its investors by wading into a political... Why does everything have to be so freaking political? 20% incline to the company's stock price. Of course, the backlash boycotts Target's hurt Target sales, and analysts said at the time the company also faced broader issues as consumers became more selective with the sort of goods that were on Target shelves. So, it's that's where we're at. We're back. We're going full circle. This is what happens. Every few years, we have a cycle, and then we recycle. It's what we do. It's what we do in America. In a few more years, it'll be back, babes. Pride Month will be back in. They won't want to cancel it anymore. It'll be back in. Give it maybe 2025, maybe 2026, and you're going to see all the rainbow logos. You're going to see all the drops. You're going to see all the rainbow collections, this limited editions. All that'll be back. You're not going to see it. I guarantee you right now. It's still May 30th. We've still got a full 36 hours left before Pride Month drops, but I can almost guarantee you that this year will be the extreme of last year in the sense that we will see almost maybe like 5% of the corporations you follow will in fact change their logos on social media, but not much else. Not many others. We're going to probably keep it the same, maybe do something for a little bit, but probably then change it back. We're going to follow the same suit we did last year. Pride Month, unfortunately, they're doing their best to cancel it again, and I guarantee you it's probably going to happen. We'll be back. We'll be back with the decor. We'll be back with the merch. We'll be back with the outfits, with the craziness, with the guests. We always try to sprinkle in a few LGBTQ plus supporters as guests on the pod this month. So we're working on that. And so, it's just, that's where we're at, man. I mean, it's the society we live in. But it's Target though, it's Target. And when it comes to America and your neighbors and everyone that basically they shop there, and we rely on them for things. And of course, they're trying to combat this Target with their we're lowering prices on everything, and we're defeating inflation at Target. We have some questions whether or not the products are going to be the same that are cheaper, or if, they're going to weigh less, but we'll see. And hopefully other organizations or big box stores follow suit. So Target may or may not have a target on their backs this June. We'll see if they can combat inflation enough to the point where we're not really missing that Pride merch in the front. I know a lot of people will be, but it's unfortunate. I'm sorry, friends, that it's the news. I just report the news. You can't be mad at me. You still have to like and subscribe. You have to hit the button. You have to hit the bell. Just do it. Do it now. It's free. It'll take you 2 seconds. You have 13 Google accounts. Log into YouTube and hit the subscribe button. I think we're one away from 1,600. We probably have it now, but make it happen. Okay? Happy Pride Month. So here's the thing. I kind of sort of I don't know. I still have to run this by some people. It's still a very rough idea, but I like to put feelers out on this podcast for anyone who might actually be listening, to anyone who might actually care. And I want to kind of see if maybe we could maybe, with me and some of my friends, we've got the camera skills and the editing and the audio, and I have the production team behind me. I have enough people I can call that will be yeah, I'm in, to basically make a pilot of a sketch comedy show. And I know it's off the rails, but here's some of this. I have two solid ideas. I have two really solid ideas that we could probably get a 15-minute pilot out of, maybe 20, with a commercial or whatever, maybe a solid 30-minute ep. We could probably, with another 5 to 10-minute bit, get a solid first pilot episode going. Here's the first two. And then the next story we talk about can honestly be the premise for the third. So here's the whole pilot for my sketch show that I'm trying to put together. Here's my first bit. I need someone to tell me if these would be funny or not, okay? Or even if they have potential to be funny. Maybe not even in the way I'm presenting it, but if you feel like, ooh, that premise is there, the premise is good, let's tweak this, let's tweak that. That's what I'm looking for. Here's my first bit, okay? So, for those of you who don't know, in America, we have this law. We have this law where you can, at pretty much almost, I think, any point in time, if you as a human being decide that the child you birthed and now have taken home from the hospital is too much for you to handle, you can anonymously drop that child off at pretty much any fire station within a few mile radius of where you live or wherever you want to go. Wherever you are, you can pretty much find a fire station and you can drop off your baby and they will take care of it. They will put it in the system. It'll get adopted by a loving family, a non-piece of shit, and basically love it and treat it right and grow it up, and it'll be smart and become a billionaire and buy a social media platform one day. And so you can do that in this country. And so with that premise, I want to make a bit where me as a 30-year-old man, my mom, I want Sandy to take me as a 30-year-old to the firehouse and drop me off, right? And so I want us to go. She'll talk to the firefighter. She'll be like, I'm done with my son. He's on drugs now. He's drunk all the time. He thinks he's a podcaster. He gets 0 download. He gets no views. His YouTube channel, he has like almost no subscribers. I want her to roast the shit out of me to this firefighter who then she's like simultaneously hitting on because it's like just her type and like she's not really, whatever's going on at home or like, whatever, maybe in the bit, she's single or something. And so like she's hitting on the firefighter. She's like trying to convince him like, hey, I need you to take my son away. I'm so sick of my son, even though I'm 30 years old. And then it inevitably turns into Sandy and I sitting down with said firefighter, and then the fire chief shows up. And then it ends up being a therapy session where we're talking it out, and we decide that Sandy then doesn't ultimately want to drop me off at the fire station. And then, holy shit, they get an emergency. We get a call. They don't have enough volunteers on staff that day. Now Sandy and I have to go put out a fire with the firefighters together. And then it's us, we got the hose and we're blasting, we're getting the fire and we're blasting the fire and we put the fire out. And then the whole thing is like a metaphor for like our relationship that like was toxic and on fire. And then like we came together and we figured it out and like we put it out with the water and the hose and like, and then it's a thing. But like we would put jokes everywhere. And like it would be this whole thing and like I'd be weirded out. I think it has potential to be a funny bit. And then the second bit idea that pretty much will get it off the ground rolling is I think it would be really funny if like if we sent like I want to get like I want to get someone like a female who may be average weight, average build, someone who doesn't necessarily need to like lose that much weight. And I want to like audition her or put them on The Biggest Loser. Like since The Biggest Loser is no longer a show, it'll be a revival, right? Everyone loves nostalgia. We're going to bring back we're going to get Nick and Vanessa Lachey to host the show. We're going to see them on a Peloton because we're going to be able to get Peloton as a sponsor real cheap. It'll cost us maybe $99 a month that we need them. and like Peloton will pretty much sponsor us because they could use literally any capital at this point to save their business. And so we can get Peloton involved. And then we audition a really skinny chick, maybe like even, I got it, a chick with an eating disorder, a female with an eating disorder, and we get her on The Biggest Loser, right? And so on the first episode, when we're meeting all the contestants and we're getting all the stories and everything and everything going on, and like the introductions to Jim and his wife Catherine and why they're here together, and they're gonna lose weight for their son. And then we meet Bill and Jane, and they've been dating for a while, and she's waiting for him to propose, and we really want Bill and Jane to get married, but they've committed to each other that they're not going to do so until they lose at least collectively 300 pounds. So that's why they're there. And then we meet Timmy and his wife Sharon. And Timmy and Sharon, they have two girls. They have twins. They're adorable little 5-year-old twin girls, and they're there for, of course, them and just their overall health and well-being of their family, and they're ready to lose weight. And then we send in Megs and her husband James, and basically they're like, James is like, you know, maybe like 20 pounds overweight. James weighs like 180, 190, and it's not muscle. Okay. And so he only needs to lose like 20 pounds, and he's going to lose it like that. And then Megs is going to come in under like no more than like 120, 125, because she, you know, she's kind of got a problem. And so I want just to film all of the reactions of the other contestants when they find out that they're competing against this couple who really doesn't need to be there and should just be going to like Planet Fitness once or twice a week. And like, if you do that for 2 or 3 months, all of your ankle problems, your back problems, most of your acne, your health, your eating, and pretty much all the issues that your doctor's been warning you about since you were like 28, 29, and now you're 30, 31, 32, you probably should just be going to the gym or at least walking on a treadmill from anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour, like maybe once, if not 2 to 3 times a week, and you're gonna be just fine. But instead, you know what I mean? They're there on the revival season of The Biggest Loser, and we jump right into it. We get to the first challenge, and it's like the first challenge to you know, win immunity and not be the first couple to go home after the weigh-in. You not only have to run half a mile, you have to do 20 push-ups, and you have to do a 30-second hang from the bar. And the couple that gets it done the quickest wins. And like Megs and James get through it in a little bit under 2 minutes. Everyone else, we're pushing 8 to 12. And they're livid, dude. And I think that'd be a funny bit. I think it'd be a funny bit. I understand it might be a sensitive issue. I apologize, you know what I mean? But like, I just think if it's in a funny manner, if it's comedy, if it's, you know what I mean? Like I'm sorry. Like, I get it. But at the end of the day, I thought it'd be funny. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe if like one of the couples, the one guy like had to have an oxygen tank and like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think, so those are 2 funny bits. And then we can get the pilot started. Why not? And so, dude, this next, I mean, hey, who can forget about, who can forget about the billionaires who went? I think some of their sons went last year. The Titanic exploration was something that I talked about for literally nonstop 2 months. The day after it imploded, we talked about it on the podcast. The week after the whole thing happened, I talked about it with one set of parents. The week after that, I talked about it with a whole nother group of people. Again, the week after that, I talked about it with another set of my parents. And then the week after that, I talked about it again. We literally would not. America, TikTok, social media, the memes, the news, the articles, the videos. It was one of the most viral moments of 2023. The Titanic submarine implosion. Okay, oceanic submarine, like I'm talking a window it's this big. They're using a Logitech PlayStation 4 controller to control the thing. It's unfortunate, but all lives were lost. And we covered the story. I mean, everyone, whether you had a podcast or not, whether you were just a normal person, whether you're an influencer, whether you had anything else going on, you were following the story. Except for like my son's kindergarten teacher. I made a reference to it once, like while it was happening, and she was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, then I had to explain the whole 5 billionaires, their sons, they paid $250,000, $1 million or something. They paid an outrageous amount of money. They were going on the sub. It was a piece of shit sub. They should never have gone down that far. And it crushed them. And it was instant. It was unfortunate, and an event that literally everyone knew about except for you. And it like I made a reference and it went over her head. So everyone except for her got pretty much the gist of the story. I mean, it was the news. It was the dominant story of the news cycle for, weeks and months at a time. Shout out to Liquid Death. After 143 episodes, they still haven't called me. And so it was, you know what I mean? Once the whole thing was said and done, we got the official reports, and we found everything to be pretty much conclusive with the reportings. The sub snapped as soon as they lost control at a certain depth, and it was a pretty much instant reaction. Not pretty much everyone on board didn't know it was happening, according to science and what we know about pressure and water and everything else when you're down that far. So, what a tragic thing. What a very, very tragic thing for a very, very silly thing to do. The fact that we have nothing else to do on the surface of the planet. There's not a single thing that we could potentially think of that we could possibly do, whether it be fly a paraglider, a jet, go on vacation, explore Egypt, do something on land. And yet billionaires still are attempting to, for whatever reason, physically see the Titanic, the ship that has been replicated in real life via Legos, the movie. It's all what you are going to see in the submarine cannot be any more visually appealing than what you would see with the cameras that we already have, the evidence, the footage, everything. So why? Anyone in their right mind. Now, of course, everyone on board's white. We get it. That's a given. When white people have too much money, we don't know the yachts, the play, everything. They're never satisfied. Some of us are, but most are never satisfied with the Will Smith. And I know we're talking about white people bringing up Will Smith, but for all intents and purposes, after that slap, I don't really think are we effing with him anymore? I don't think so. So it's fine. But Will Smith once said, once you have a certain amount of money and you realize you can just at any point in time buy an iPhone, buy an iPad, buy a Mac, buy a boat, buy a car, buy a house. Once you've done all that, there's nothing left for you to buy. There's nothing left for you to be excited about. There's nothing left for you to feel that joy, that energy, that adrenaline, that pure, just that grasp that you get, that rage, that kick in the ass when you spend money. And when you spend, your spending gets more and bigger and bigger and more elaborate. And you're going on $50 million vacations with 30 of your friends on private jets. And you got the island and it's a mansion and it costs $30,000, $50,000 a night. And there's a private butler and that's another 50 grand. And so it ends up being this big, and that just becomes not enough because all you have to do is get one more stock buyout or one more dividend or one more movie, and you can just do that all over again. And why would you when you've already done it 13 times? And so it just becomes this mundane issue that once you reach a certain status, I'm going to guess that once you reach the 250 to 400 to 500 million dollar liquid assets in cash status, that there's really not much left for you to do. And some people, like the Joe Rogans of the world, once they have that, the Drakes of the world, once they have enough money to have their own jet, multiple houses, the podcast, whatever you want, the basketball courts, the podcast studios, and you're content with just doing that every day like those two are, that's the type of millionaires they are. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the ones who can't stop chasing the high. And so that's where we find these billionaires who are just coming up with monotonous ideas, like going to the very bottom of one of the deepest parts of the oceans to see a rotting piece of floating iron that most of it's not even there because it's disintegrated and it's just a hunk of metal that is polluting the ocean. I don't even know if that's true, but I would imagine that a sunken ship built in back when it was built, that the materials used probably aren't good for the ocean, but maybe at this point it might be an ecosystem. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, how exciting can it? You want some thrill? Okay, let me turn you on to something. You want some thrill? If you're a billionaire, if you have more than $100 million in the bank, and you're thinking to yourself, the only way I can get off, the only way I can get hard, it's not by going to wadpod.com/blue and getting some blue chew. The only way that you're going to feel satisfied as a millionaire, if you're thinking to yourself, I'm getting a sub and going to the Titanic, don't, okay? Come to a small town on the East Coast, whether it be, hey, pick an Ocean City, whether it be Ocean City, Maryland, or Ocean City, New Jersey. Just pick one. Doesn't matter. Ocean City, New Jersey's nicer. There's less alcohol. Ocean City, Maryland, more alcohol. You get the drift. And so if you're, go there. And if not, go the other place. If family, whatever, you know what I mean? Your choice. But go to an Ocean City and literally wait 5 minutes. Just go there. Go to either Ocean City. Wait 5 minutes. Stand there. Look up. And you'll inevitably, within 5 to 10 minutes, see a parachute with a phone number on it. Call that parachute. Go parasailing. It's only going to cost $200. You're going to be like, what the fuck? You could buy the company. Do it. Buy the company while you're there if you want. It's only going to cost you like $100 grand. They'll take it. Trust me. For $200, it'll be the scariest fucking thing you've ever done in your life. You will be so scared. The ropes will be held together by duct tape. One of the ropes while you're up there will most likely snap. Whether it hits you in the face, that might be a lawsuit, I don't know, or not. But it may or may not snap. The whole thing may or may not come off the boat. If you're lucky, one of those things will happen. And it'll be even more scary for you. And it'll be well worth the $200 because you'll most likely get a refund and it'll be free. And you won't have to pay anything for this thrilling experience. I am telling you, if you go to either East Coast, Maryland or New Jersey, Ocean City, and you go parasailing with any of those companies, your heart is going to be pumping faster, way faster, and your adrenaline's going to be through the roof. You're going to be like, what fucking cocaine? The high I just had is gone because the adrenaline is now taken over. I'm on the fucking moon because I am scared for my goddamn life on this $300 parachute that doesn't have any insurance on it, instead of being in a submarine, whether you're wondering if it's going to implode and maybe or maybe not get a glimpse of the Titanic for about 45 seconds before you have to resurface. And so all I'm saying is I can save you guys. Listen, give me $1 million. I'll fly you to Ocean City. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great fucking time. And then once we're done the parasailing, I've got one word for you, sweetheart. Slingshot. We're hitting the boardwalk and we're doing the slingshot. And for only $20 more, you get the video. You get a link on your phone and you can post it on your social media for all your followers to see. You don't get that with a submarine. No phones down there. Can't do that. It's unfortunate. But here we are again. Ohio billionaires are ready to take the $20 million submarine challenge after this OceanGate implosion. I mean, the pressure's on, folks. The pressure is on. And it doesn't get much better than that. We've got the millionaires ready to go. They're ready to battle it out. They're ready to go. And so this Ohio billionaire is planning to take a deep sea submarine to the Titanic depths to prove the industry is much safer now that we are a year out in the wake of the doomed OceanGate vessel that imploded last year. We're here to prove otherwise. Listen, we went back. We've got the PS5 now. We've got an on-brand, straight from Sony PS5 controller, and this time, no issues. So we've got another $20 million invested into OceanGate. We're back. You thought the manslaughter of like 5 people and their children, you thought that was going to stop? You thought OceanGate would never try to go to the Titanic again? No way, man. And the first time they were guys from like other country. They weren't even, I think one of the guys was from here. Maybe the other guys weren't. But this time we've got none other than real estate investor Larry Connor of Dayton, Ohio. Wouldn't you guess? Go ahead. I'll give you 3 guesses. You're only going to need one. The color of Larry Connor's skin. Leave a comment below. Of Dayton said he and Triton Submarines co-founder Patrick Leahy will plunge more than 12,400 feet, that's 2.3 miles, to the shipwreck site in a 2-person submarine. I want to show people worldwide that while the ocean is extremely powerful, it can be wonderful and enjoyable and really kind of life-changing if you go about it the right way, Connor told the Wall Street Journal. So, shout out, I mean, hey, here we go, I guess. We'll see what happens, you know? We're rooting for Connor, you know what I mean? We're rooting for Connor. Shout out to you, Connor, Dayton, Ohio, another hero of the forces. I hope. Listen, if James Cameron can do it, you know, Connor from Ohio can do it. Why not? Why not? Connor and Mr. Leahy. What could go wrong? What could go wrong in the, I think they called it the Titan 4002. So, you know what I mean? The first one, imploded. But the second one, they are confident will make the trip. And if that doesn't give you the hope and the confidence that you need, then hey, what are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do? And that's where we're at. You know what I mean? We're all getting trolled by this this aquarium. This aquarium in North Carolina. This is the third time now I've had to report on this damn stingray here on this podcast. And I'm getting a little agitated now because every time, you know what I mean, we kind of bring it up, then the mainstream media brings it up, and then we bring it up, and then so it's this back and forth. And it's been 8 months. It's been 8 months. It's been 8 months since they announced that Charlotte the stingray, the Virgin Mary birth, their pregnancy, there are no other male stingrays in the tank, but somehow, due to an ultrasound, the stingray is pregnant, and we have apparently confirmed this multiple times with doctors. They've done multiple ultrasounds. You can see the babies. Scientists are beating their heads against the wall. They don't know what it could be. They say the shark theory is now out the window. That is not likely. But the normal pregnancy period for a typical stingray is that of 4 months. We're now on month 8. 4 times 2, Terrence Howard, how much is it? If we take 4 times 2, Terrence Howard, how much does it equal? 8 months. Good job. I knew you could do it. I knew he could. He's at home listening, playing along. He said 8. I know he did. 4 times 2, it equals 8. It's been 8 months. And so twice as long as a normal stingray pregnancy. Okay, red flag number 1. And when we reach out to the aquarium, okay, we got nothing but just because it's an impossible situation and we don't know what's going on with Charlotte doesn't mean it still isn't a possibility. So they're just feeding us lines of bullshit at this point. So I think, I'm calling it now, we're gonna riot. I swear to God, if you don't stop playing with me right now, if I fought, as soon as we're 100%, if we discover that this stingray and the whole thing was a hoax and the whole thing was made up by the aquarium, the line's been out the door. They've profited. They have t-shirts. They have Charlotte merch. If the Jesus stingray story ends up being a hoax, just a marketing scheme by the aquarium, first of all, good for you guys. Hands down, by God, best. Like, honestly, whoever had the idea to say she was pregnant and it was a virgin birth or whatever whoever came up with the whole thing, genius. They should get a raise. They should get every penny you've made off of the Charlotte the Stingray t-shirts. If it's a hoax, I swear, listen to me. If it is, congratulations, you fooled us all. Congratulations, you played us. You know what I mean? We played ourselves. And if it is, I swear, dude, I swear to God, if you thought the BLM movement was powerful, you thought those riots were bad, you thought the COVID riots were bad, you thought burning down Targets, there were white people burning down Targets. It got really bad in this country for a while, a few years ago. If you thought that was bad, aquarium, guess what? You've got another thing coming. Me, and 45 other angry people will come with lit torches that we get from Home Depot, and we will fucking protest until they shut it down. Send the stingray back to wherever Sigourney Weaver is at. in Australia with or the East California, wherever that aquarium, send the stingray there. They'll take care of it. Send all the fish out. Get them out. Shut the aquarium down. Drain the tanks. I swear, we're this close. We are 98% sure. We have 2% left. And I'm telling you, as soon as we find out that this stingray pregnancy was a hoax, and I have now wasted upwards of an hour and a half of my life watching TikToks, doing biology, marine research, I should have another degree. Biden should be dismissing and forgiving my loans for my marine biology degree that I've gotten in the last year and a half because of how much research that I've done on stingrays and sharks, and if they can breed, and pregnancy and stingray pregnancy, and how this could potentially happen, but it's 1 in a million, but we've won the lottery before. Who knows? Where's my certificate? I should have a certification. I should be able to go get a job. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right now because I know soon enough we are going to get this 2% of evidence we need. And as soon as we do, I should be inside. I should be the inside man. Okay, I got it now. I'm going to go rent an apartment, okay, wherever this is, Ohio, or it's not anywhere near here, but I'm going to go wherever it is. I'll tell Megs I'm doing business. I'll DJ something, and I'll get a website project out there. I'll make it worth my while. And on the weekends, I'll volunteer, and it'll only take me 48 to 72 hours of volunteer time for them to fall in love with me. They'll give me a part-time job to start. And then eventually, another month out, they'll give me a full-time position. And then I may or may not end up being the manager of the aquarium. And as soon as we find out, as soon as I become the manager, and that's the status you need to know the truth, and they say, hey, just so you know, Charlotte's not really pregnant. As soon as they tell me, I'm making one phone call, and I'm getting the press. TMZ's coming. Fucking New York Post is coming, Wall Street Journal's coming, Fox, CNN, ABC, NBC, Paris Hilton, Selena Gomez, fucking Benny Blanco, everyone and their brother is I want everyone there to witness the downfall and the burning and the draining of the tanks when we 100% discover that this stingray, I'm telling you, I'm this close. I'm this close to lighting a match, is all I'm saying. I'm this close to getting a job as a volunteer and infiltrating as a part-time, full-time employee to figure out the truth, because we need to know. It's been 8 months. It's been 8 months. Who are you trying to fool? Hey, who are you trying to fool? Who are you trying to fool? The internet will find out. If JoJo Siwa can't get away with anything, she can't get away with shit. She hasn't said shit in like 2 or 3 weeks because everything that comes out of her mouth is either a goddamn lie or we have evidence to prove that she has no idea what she's talking about and that things are above her and out of her control, and she literally has no idea how the world works and thinks that it just revolves around her. And so, like, if that is where she can be, I mean, we gotta, man, the aquarium. I don't know, man. I don't know about the aquarium. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where we just have to continue to wait and see. We have to continue to wait and see. We really do. And so, and that's why, and that's what just leads me to, we have this, I have this now new philosophy here in 2024 that, everything that and we know and love will become a Chinese restaurant or a Wingstop one day. Like very soon, all that's going to be here is Dave's Hot Chicken, McDonald's, and just chain fast food slop. It's about 75% of what we have now, and that percentage is like only going to increase. Like, hey, banks, no more banks. We've got Dunkin' Donuts in banks now, you know what I mean? Like, you know what new and exciting business is opening up right in the parking lot of the movie theater just down the street? Another Starbucks, because we don't have one there's not a coffee shop in the mall. There's not a Starbucks right down the street. There's not one on the pike. You know what I mean? Like, you think another new business is going in there? It's going to be totally awesome and blow your mind. Just another Starbucks. Like, the brick and mortar dream in America is dead for about 80% of any and all industries. Unless you are like an ice cream or a brand that is somehow inevitably beyond something amazing, unless you are a one-of-a-kind thing and you go on Shark Tank and they're like, hey, you should be a franchise, and it blows up and it becomes a thing, then maybe we'll get something new. But until then, we just have to deal with getting a brand new Panera Bread and Crumble cookie every, 9 to 18 months. And so as Americans, we just have to deal with that because that's where we live. That's where we live now. We have to open one of these locations per franchise, at least within a quarter mile of each other, whether it takes half of the revenue away or not at all, or just doubles in whatever the outcome may be, put as many properties out there. And within 10 years, we've at least made a profit. But if one has to close, it has to close. And that's where we're at. Like studio space, renting a space, leasing a space, like they're all literally out of reach for any small business or entrepreneur in most cases. There's a select few that might find a diamond in a rough, a place to rent, someone they know, a studio they go halves on. But like when it comes to creatives or entrepreneurs or people with small businesses, typically getting your own space or getting a studio or getting a creative space or somewhere where people come and get food from you or art or work or services or whatever it may be is, it's you have to shell out upwards of $1,200 a month. Find me somewhere to rent like studio office space in central Pennsylvania that doesn't cost more than $1,000 a month, because that's on top of your life. Your mortgage, your rent, your groceries, your kids, your extracurricular activities, your bills, your Netflix, your subscriptions, your cable, your internet, your cell phone, your iPhone, the whole thing. And so to add another expense on top of your already maybe not paying you as much as you would hope side hustle is hard for a lot of people. And in most cases, not very possible, And it's just like, it takes me back to like this time, like when I was in college, you know what I mean? Like when I was in college, I wasn't really breaking out of my entrepreneurial shell just yet. You know what I mean? I was booking magic shows. I was making an extra $800, $600, $500 a month to spend on whatever I wanted at the time because I was only 20, 21 years old. And it was a time where that extra money was great. And you could make, back in 2012, you could make $500. That's a month's worth of food. You could easily, in 2012, just a mere 12 years ago, make $500 last a month worth of meals. Eating once or twice a day for just you alone, maybe two people, I guarantee you could have made that stretch back in 2012. People know it. People have done it. It is what it is. Like the dollar menu was still a thing. You could still get a cheeseburger at McDonald's for like $1 to $2 on any given day. The app wasn't a thing. It was still an American system that worked upwards of 10 to 12 years ago. So basically, at that time, I wasn't an entrepreneur yet, but, the people I would work for were, I got this job at a place called Scoops Deli and Ice Cream. Okay. And now, if I had to tell you anything about Scoops Deli and Ice Cream, was this place was off the chain. Okay. Now, what had happened was this was even after, let me take you even back further to a time of 2007, 2008, when an ice cream shop by the name of Maggie Moo's was around. Okay. Some people listening know exactly what Maggie Moo's was. Some people listening remember fondly of going to an ice cream shop called Maggie Moo's, to the point maybe even your dog is even named after said ice cream shop franchise, Maggie Moo's. And at one point in time in the turn of the century, around 2010-ish, maybe a little before, maybe a little after, Maggie Moo's unfortunately could not sustain their business model. And what does America love to do more than anyone else in the world? Americans, this is what I love about America, and this is why most businesses fail. American business owners, who inevitably aren't that smart, love putting in businesses under the same umbrella that failed before them. Every single time you see a new Chinese place go in where another Chinese place was, or a diner gets converted into a Chinese place, or a nail salon gets converted into another nail salon, when the ice cream shop goes from one ice cream shop or one pizza place to another, hey, Debbie's, Manchester, turned it into what? Love and Pizza. And now I'm pretty sure that's not doing great. It may or may not be coming like a Gander Mountain, where you can buy bow and arrows and ammunition and camo and hunting supplies and anything else you might need for the outdoors, because we live where we live. And so, you know what I mean? We keep turning these businesses into the same thing, and inevitably they all fail, because that's why the first one failed, because an ice cream shop doesn't work there. And so once Maggie Moo's went under, Scoops Deli and Ice Cream came in. Two lovely gentlemen. I believe they were of the gay community, of the homosexual community. Jimothy, and I believe Chris. My friends, my long lost friends, I haven't seen them in years and years and years and years. Jimmy and Chris came in and said, hey, we're going to open up Scoops Deli and Ice Cream. And they thought they could change the world. After Maggie Moo's wasn't quite doing it for the people of York County, Scoops Deli and Ice Cream thought, let us come in. We'll pretty much do the same thing they did, sell ice cream. And, we'll sell like a panini. We'll sell like a Chicago dog if we want. You want a turkey sandwich? Sure. Here's a turkey sandwich. Get some ice cream. Get a combo. $9. It was overpriced and undervalued at the same time. Scoops Deli and Ice Cream was inevitably a failure from launch, essentially. Basically, they didn't know what they were doing. They essentially didn't know how to run a business, to the point where when they were both in there all day, every day, for the first 3 to 6 months of their business being open, they then got tired of it. I think they might have hired one kid, but then he quit. Then they found me. I don't know how I found the job. I don't know where I found the job. It might have been on Facebook, might have been on Craigslist. It might have been, I have no idea how I discovered this opportunity, but I went, I applied, they loved me. And after about 3 shifts working with one of them side by side, learning how to use the ice cream machine, learning how to use the cash register, learning how the menu and the ins and outs of opening and closing the business worked, I was quickly, on my own from open to close whenever I could. Whatever schedule I could accommodate, they filled in the rest. I told them when I'd be there and when I'd leave, and then they came in before or after. Or if it didn't make sense, like if I had to leave at like 6 o'clock and we didn't have any customers that day, they said, hey, just lock up, we'll hit it tomorrow. And like it got to the point where I would meet Jimmy or Chris in the morning to open the shop. They would give me the ham, they would give me the turkey, they would give me the milk for the ice cream, and I'd be set for the day. I'd make so much ice cream, I'd make so many sandwiches, I'd slice so much ham, put it in the one walk-in cooler. We had two, but they couldn't afford to run it because the electric bill was crazy high. And so we would just put everything in there for storage, and I ran the show. I quickly became the manager, supervisor, guy who was there pretty much from open to close almost every day I could be when I didn't have class in college. And I ran it. I ran the show. And let me tell you, spoiler alert, Scoops Deli and Ice Cream, we maybe only got 1 to 4 to 5 customers on a regular daily basis. And one of those customers was like the cute redhead who worked at the hair cuttery next door, who also thought I was cute. We flirted a little bit. She would come in. I'd give her a scoop on the house. She never paid for anything. She would tip me. We'd flirt. It'd be a thing. And then like that was our customers for the day. So when I wasn't scooping out a single scoop of ice cream at a time, maybe making a sandwich, once or twice a week, some guy would come in, get a panini, get a bag of chips, take it back to his office, and that would be his lunch for the day. Other than that, I was in the back and I was either whipping up another cheesecake flavor, okay? Because all you had to do to make a cheesecake flavored ice cream was take the huge bag of cheesecake crumbles, the little cubes of like half semi-frozen cheesecake bites, and just dump them in. And so first of all, I've eaten cheesecake bites all day out of the back bag. And second of all, strawberry cheesecake, done. Regular cheesecake, done. Caramel cheesecake, add it to the regular. Now it's caramel, done. The whole first row of ice creams that summer at Scoops Deli and Ice Cream was all cheesecake variants because I was obsessed at 20 years old making cheesecake flavored ice cream. And so when I wasn't dealing with the 1 to 2 customers, half the time it was my family, half the time it was my friends. Sometimes we got an influx of people from the Outback Steakhouse that was next door because they wanted dessert. But other than that, that was it. We maybe got a grand total of 50 customers for the 9 months that they were open that I worked there. And the other time, I was in the back. I was in the back cooler that was non-functional because they couldn't afford the electric bill, let alone to run the full shop. I was in the back doing magic. I was filming magic videos using my MacBook Pro webcam. I would be in the walk-in cooler thinking that the silver backdrop was the coolest shit ever. And I was filming rope tricks, I was filming quarter tricks, and I was filming magic videos that went on my website. And for the mere price of $0, you could sign up for my Levi Sparks Magician newsletter, and you could learn the tricks for free. I was giving away free magic tricks that I filmed in the walk-in freezer of Scoops Deli and Ice Cream because they were just paying me to be there. We had no customers. They had no presence online. They had no website. They had no Facebook page. They didn't know how to market it. They just hoped and prayed that people would show up and discover how delicious this ice cream was. And so I would just be filming magic videos. I think I still have one. Do we still have one? Can we pull it up? We still have, yeah, here it is. We still have the 1 1/4 video that I filmed. I would teach you how to do this, right? Okay, so here, check it out. Here we go. There's no audio. I'm not speaking at all. It's just me. I take 1/4, put it in my hand, take 1/4, put it in my hand, take the other quarter, put it in my hand, and then boop, turn my hand, and the quarters are gone. And so if you signed up for my newsletter at that exact time, you would receive the tutorial video on how to do that. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, cut away, fast forward 10 seconds. You just slide the quarters off the table and pretend to put them in your hand. That's it. That's all magic is. But it's crazy, dude. I was doing magic at that time. At that time, my magic career, people were hiring me to the point where, like, not only was I teaching other people magic via the internet, on this website, everything, my YouTube channel, my mom was flying me to Vegas. I got flown to Vegas to do magic for an entire weekend, to the point where, like, I was doing magic on the plane. We were 30,000 feet in the air on a Southwest freaking jetliner doing magic. There's a video on the screen. I was doing magic for people on the plane on the way to Vegas. And like, as soon as I got there, we hit the hotel. I did magic for people on the monorail. I did magic for people in the lobby of the hotel. It was to the point where as soon as I landed in Vegas and I started doing card tricks, word spread like wildfire, to the point where only 24 hours into the trip, we got there on Friday. I did all of that magic, all that stuff that you just saw was Friday. On Saturday, they somehow got a hold of me and Mom. Sandy was getting phone calls and text messages. They were inviting us to pool parties. They were inviting us to events all weekend long, happening Saturday and Sunday. Like, when are you leaving? Levi, come perform here. Levi, come to this hotel. Levi, come here and perform. So then, to the point where on Saturday, we had to like plan. We went to breakfast. We came up with a whole plan. We looked at all the options, the times, and so we came up with a whole day. I think it even went into Sunday, a plan to do all these appearances in this magic trick, to the point where I ended up at this pool party, dude, this private Vegas pool party, to where I ended up walking. There was this chick. Oh my God. She was smoking. And I mean, when was this? I was 21. So the year was 2013, 2014, 2014. And I mean, man, I'll never forget. She had this tight little black bikini on, and she starts yelling out, "Oh my gosh, Levi, do something crazy. Do like a crazy magic. Do something insane. Do an insane magic trick for us." And I'm like, well, I can't let her down. So I walked across the water. I said, "Everyone stand back." I said, "Everyone stand back, make a path." Everyone was in the pool, right? It was a pool party. I said, "Make a way." And then I'm like, I told the chick in the black bikini who was yelling at me. Obviously, I wanted to impress her. I said, "You come here." And I started walking across the water. And I then instructed her. I said, when you get halfway through the pool, swim under me. Swim under me to prove that there's nothing here, that I'm not walking on a board or like it's fake. Swim under me. And as I'm walking across the pool, this hot as shit chick, she swims under me. I walk across the pool. Everyone loses their goddamn, I'm telling you. And then that was crazy. I went off and I did more card tricks for people. I mean, when I tell you that that was just the 24, that was just like on Saturday. Sunday, we get invited to this place and we're like, wait a minute, what is this? They're like, we're going to take you to the roof. We're going to take you to the roof. It's a rooftop party. Okay. I'm now on the roof of the hotel. And they're like, what can you do? What can you do? And so like, I have nothing with me. I have nothing prepared. I just thought like Sunday was going to be our chill day because it's been nonstop magic appearance, magic card tricks. This freaking Vegas trip. My birthday has become, we had like tickets to go see a show. That didn't happen because of like the appearances. We had to like forfeit those. I just gave them away to someone on the street because I had to go do, it was partial. That was like at the time I was a magician. And so I got invited to this rooftop. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything on me. I didn't have any props or cards or literally anything a magician should have on him. And I didn't even have a Sharpie on me. And I look to my left and I see another rooftop party. They didn't want me there for some reason. I see another party going on. And I'm like, how crazy would it be if I crashed their rooftop party, right? But the only way to get there would have to be to go down, go to that hotel, get up, access to the elevator, go up, and then boom, now you're on that side, right? That's how crazy would it be? So I levitated. I stood on the edge of the building. Everyone's freaking out. My mom who's there, my stepdad who's there, he's like, Levi, get the fuck down. Levi, get down from there. Insane. I'm like, John, calm down. I tell him to he was like 13 beers deep at the time. It's fine. I told John to calm down. I'm on the edge of the building. I start levitating, okay? I start levitating and I float. I literally float from one building to another. I float from the pool party that I'm being paid to appear at, and I go to the one that I'm not, hoping to collect a check. And I go over there and I levitate from one roof to another while, I don't know, maybe a few hundred random spectators are watching. And, oh man, that was pretty much it. That was it. That took it out of me. I mean, if anyone who knows, levitating drains your energy to the point where I didn't even have time to enjoy, the party. I literally had to go sit down for like 20 minutes. I had to put an ice pack on my head. Levitating takes it out of you. If you've ever done it, you know. And so it's just, man, it was one of those experiences that I'll never forget. My mom taking me to Vegas out of all people. It was wild. Wild. I went from card tricks on the plane to walking on top of pool to levitating from roof to roof. And it was one of the craziest trips. Plane ride home, more card tricks, of course. So it was just, it was a wild experience. And just going from like the freezer of Scoop's Deli and Ice Cream doing magic to Las Vegas private pool parties, etc. One of the wildest times of my life. Middle of the concrete. Going to attempt to make somebody appear above that concrete. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna blow your mind. And you know what? This one's for you, Mom, because you say nothing is possible. All this stuff I do is fake. Nothing. Gonna lift the tarp. I'm gonna lift it up. We're gonna lift it up. We're just gonna pull them out of the ground. We're gonna pull them. Amazing. Right out of the concrete. Amazing. That is crazy, crazy stuff. It's been years now, and you know what? It's inevitable because it's a wing stop. It's now a wing stop. If you drive by the old Scoop's Deli and Ice Cream, which was my original point to begin with, Scoop's Deli and Ice Cream is now a wing stop. And so it's, that's where we're at. And that's where we're going to continue to be. One last story, then we'll get the hell out of here. Listen, this fight that is dominating my TikTok feed, this RXF fight. I'm pretty sure if my research and everything that I've seemed to find online is correct, I'm pretty sure it's a Romanian MMA fight. These happen apparently all the time. I think RXF is like the company that puts it on. And so what happens is that this Romanian version of the MMA is not like America. It's not like America at all, in the sense that you can just pick anyone to fight and then they have to fight. It's kind of like serving them in court. Like if someone cans you papers, you have to go to court. You have to show up. You have to go to court. You have to, like, it's a legal thing. So if someone serves you papers to fight in Romania, you have to go. So what happened is this guy named Perversio, I think is how you pronounce his name. We're just going to call him Perv for short, because he kind of looks like a pervert. We're going to call him Perv for short. Perv was served by his two nieces, his younger brother's daughters. They had a weird relationship growing up. There's probably some diddling going on. So he was served by them. Now that they're of fighting age, they served him. And now it's Perv versus Roxana and Betty. And they're pissed, okay? And they've been training for years for this day alone. And just by the first screen grab of this fight, go ahead and take a look. This is Perv, and this is who he's fighting. It's clearly this overweight man versus these two very much underweight women. And so I don't know the rules of this particular fighting style, but if I had to guess, there probably are none. We'll maybe see. Let's watch the video, and then we'll see where this goes. I have a hunch what the final outcome might be, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Let's watch the video together and see. Holy shit. Here we go. Oh, smacked her. Oh, boom, smacked her again. Damn. Oh, get him. See, now, they're trying to gang up on him. Oh, she got his leg. Oh, he got her leg. Oh, he kicked her. Oh, she kicked him. Here's the issue. They keep kicking him in the stomach. And that's like his strongest point. He doesn't feel any of that. It's just a huge layer of fat. Basically padding. It's basically padding for him. So kicking him in the stomach only slows down the girls, because no matter how fast or how forceful that kick is, if she hits him dead in the stomach, one, he's not going to feel it, and two, that fat will absorb the power of her kick. Like it's like if she was kicking like a memory foam mattress. You know what I mean? It'll absorb the power of the kick, slow her down to almost 0%, and inevitably stop her in her tracks to where he can grab her and put her on the ground, which is what he just did there. And it's this insane Romanian style of MMA. It's these two girls just fighting this big ass dude, and there's no format. They're just running around. If they're not feeling it, they run away. They're just running in circles, and then every once in a while they get in a little bit of a tizzy. And I'll tell you what, man, dude, they just don't do sports like this in America. They really don't. They're cornering him. Oh, they're cornering him now. What are they gonna do? Oh, one's moving in. One's moving in for the strike. Dude, right in the stomach. Oh, see what I mean? See what I mean about the stomach kick? Come on, dude, come on. Oh, almost sweeped her. He went for the leg. He wasn't high enough, but he went for the leg. Almost got her. Wait it out. Go charge her. Charge her like a rhino. Dude, okay, all right. Listen, oh, man. Okay, let's see. Are we getting to the end? Let's see. Let's get to the end. Do we have the ending? I think we have the ending. It's right here. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Boom. We got another angle. A kick. Here we go. Oh, kick. Oh, he punches her right in the face. Took her down. Oh, she's back up. Oh, right in the face. Ow, that one stung. Charging her friend. Cornering her. Boom, right in the face. Boom, right. Boom. Right in the face, dude. Damn, he's fucking these chicks up, man. This is Romania. Right in the... Oh, that was it. And just a casual... Boop. You're already going down. Take another one, sweetheart. Take another one. She's down. I think that's it for her. And I think that's it. Yeah, that was it. And then they declare him the winner. Spoiler alert. The 300-pound man won against the 150-pound women. Listen, where's Dana White? Get Dana White. Get him on the phone. I want Dana White on the phone. I want this league in the United States right now. Have them sign the waivers. get professionals on the sport. You thought slap? Listen, if Dana White can get the slap league evaluated at $1 billion pretty much instantly, this RXF league in America will be the next 2024, 2025 viral sensation. If you put two females in the octagon, in the UFC ring with a 300-pound man, did you not see the clip that was going viral last week? The 300-pound chick that was fighting the other, she knocked herself out. She ran into the wall. This will go dummy viral. And if other countries are doing it, Dana, we've got to jump on it now. Let's get on it. Dana, I only want 5%. I only want 5% of the business. Let me run it for you. Bring me in. We need to bring this type of fighting to the United States. Here's the rules. I'll give you the book. This is what you can pay me 5% for. Here's the rules. If it's two girls versus one, the two girls collectively cannot weigh more than the competitor. But the competitor must weigh more, if not equal to or 20 pounds more than the girls. So for example, the girls equal 150 pounds each. The fighter must be anywhere from 300 to 320 pounds. If the girls are 160, it's 320 to 350 for the other fighter, etc., etc. Do the math. You split the weight of the man in half by the other two girl fighters, and you have it be bisexual each time. If it's a 300-pound female, make it 250-pound male fighters. If it's a 300-pound man, make it 150-pound female fighters. They're out there and they're ready to go. You want to bring up the stakes? Make the girls 200 pounds and make the male 4. Make it even bigger, okay? Make this the next American sport. Dana White, if the slap league worked, this will work too. I only want 5%. I only want 5%. It would be so viral in the United States if this was a thing. And I think it needs to happen. It needs to happen. If you have female bodybuilders beat the shit out of dudes who just run around and slam them into the wall, this is how you make America great again. If you want to support Dana White, if you want to support your best friend, Donald Trump, because I know you're really good friends, make America great again by bringing this RXF style MMA 2 versus 1 bi gender, racial, sexual, two chicks versus a dude. Make it a thing. Make it a thing in the United States, and I guarantee you it's the next big league. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Levi McCurdy. This has been another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Thank you so much for rocking with me for an hour plus this week. Shout out to everyone who has hit that subscribe button, all 1,600 of you. And according to Mr. Beast's new viewstatsonline.com website, I'm not sure what the actual domain is currently, but it's Mr. Beast YouTube tool. Just search for it. This podcast should be reaching 2,600, another 1,000 subscribers by next year. So keep it growing, keep it sharing, share the clips wherever you see them, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell, support the channel. We're rocking and rolling into episode 144, and you're not going to want to miss next week. I can't wait to see you guys again. I can't wait to do this again in 7 days from now. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you next time. Stay safe.